Nope. Now you do it.
What's up, everybody?
Why do we have to start it like that?
We'll start
Like
what?
we're talking to people.
Well, who are we speaking to?
I don't know.
If not two people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dear Diary, today I watched. All right, Alexa,
Yes?
what was the film that we just experienced?
We watched Darna.
Darna?
Darna. But like the American version.
Explain to the uncultured people like myself what Darna is.
Well, Darna is just the Filipino version of Wonder Woman,
Okay.
basically.
Huh. Was it a coincidence or was it kind of like a knockoff type?
I think it was like a blatant knockoff. Because Darna, I think the way she gets her powers is she swallows a rock and then says her name.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's how it works.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep. Anyway, we watched Wonder Woman. Woohoo!
We've been
This
looking
is-
forward to this for a while.
I know there have been a couple movies that like we've anticipated, you know, and this was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I know this turn right here. The other one I know that we
Can you
anticipated.
cover my side view mirror, please?
Sorry. The other one we anticipated was
Or maybe further forward, or something like that.
Oh my.
You're just covering my side view
I'm
mirror. I don't
sorry.
want to
I'm
get into an
sorry.
accident.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We should just start a GoFundMe so that people could buy us a proper.
Proper equipment.
Yeah.
A dark camera with
Yeah.
night vision.
We really anticipated watching like Star Trek, which also includes Chris Pine.
Yeah. So, are you a fan of Wonder Woman?
Yeah, like you know how people people claim like a Disney princess, like they'll be like, oh, mine's a Cinderella. I'll be like, people tend to pick a superhero for themselves. Like yours is Batman. Mine's is Wonder Woman. She's my favorite.
Well, mine is Batman in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Marvel universe hero?
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think I've gone that far.
Mine's is Captain America.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
well, did this movie live up to your expectations?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess I kind of want to expect to like be a little mind blown, and I wasn't very mind blown. I was like, this is a nice movie. Like, this is great. It looks great. She's great. Fighting is great. I was just like, okay, that's it. Nothing like we watched Get Out, and that just like blew my mind, and I was like, I felt like that incited quite a reaction that stirred my soul.
I didn't really feel that way about Get Out.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I mean, that's a totally different kind of movie. But, yeah. Maybe like the hype kind of unhyped it. I don't know.
Well, honestly, like I was trying to stay as far away from that as possible. Like I had seen like snippets of people saying how good it was, so I kind of like tried to. It's like you can't go through your social media feed without getting any spoilers on films, even films these days. But I liked it actually.
I mean, it was good. I liked it. I like it that I like that it's set in the past. Like that took me away from like that. Like I like that.
Yeah,
and you didn't I kind of forget that it was set in the past. Like the story is what came out a lot more.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that for a second. Because
I called everything.
What do you mean you called?
I knew it. I was like, I know this is gonna happen. I don't trust this person. I don't trust this person.
Oh gosh.
I knew it was gonna be like that.
Alright, well, okay, so Yeah, like you said, I do appreciate the world. I was about to say Battlefield 1. 'Cause
So
Battlefield
funny.
1 is so fast.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever, you don't know. Anyway, so World War One, also known as the Great War. In that respect, it's kind of very similar to the first Captain America movie, even though that's World War Two.
I didn't watch Captain America.
Right, but anyway, like, I do think it's interesting because, you know, you don't really see too many movies about World War One, and like, a lot of people say World War One is very underrated as far as like cinematic.
Isn't Dunkirk a World War One movie?
No, I'm pretty sure that's still World War Two.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it was World War. I don't know. They had the trailer for that before
we're ignorant
this movie.
to Dunkirk. Anyway,
I want to watch that.
so you know, like the interesting about World War One, and I think it fits really well, is that like World War One was was a unique war in that it was kind of like a clash of modern industrial era weaponry versus like the old style of weaponry. Like there were still people with swords and on horseback and I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe they did have arrows back then. So for some people, but like for that, I think it was really interesting to throw in, you know, someone like Wonder Woman, who's like a throwback to the old
Like warrior.
ancient warriors. You know. Did you ever watch like the Super Friends cartoon, or like you know the old
Super
style?
Friends.
When I was young, I used to watch the Super Friends cartoon, and you know that was like the silly Wonder Woman where she would have like invisible planes, and you know,
No.
she could make like invisible anything.
Yeah, I didn't really. I didn't watch like Justice League. I did see there's this one. Well, it's new, but it's like they has like Batgirl and like Harley Quinn, and it's like a cartoon, but it's like geared towards girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen
high
a couple
school?
of that. Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know why. I should
Yeah,
watch
but
it.
I think when they got to like the Justice League cartoon, they're just like, all right, screw it. Wonder Woman can just fly. But that's one of the things that I was curious about, and I wish they would have like worked on, like explained that a little bit more. Like, what is Wonder Woman's powers?
She's
You know,
just a
there's
badass.
well, okay, but there's a scene where like she gets hurt on the battlefield, so but she's bleeding and then she heals. So does she have like super healing powers?
She's a god.
Okay, yeah, but is she bulletproof?
Yeah, apparently.
If she's bulletproof, then why does she have to deflect them? Why can't she just get
I don't
shot?
know.
You know, like those kinds of things.
They should have just made more uniforms like that for everybody on that island. That was a weird island. I was like,
Themyscira.
yeah. Like they were just in a bubble, and it's like, so what would it's like I was like, what would have happened if they just stayed in that bubble? Like they would have just missed World War One. They would have just missed the memo and been like, oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
But,
we'll catch
like,
it on the next one.
But but what it was that like because the troops were out there, so they're of course they broke, like that's how Chris Pine he broke through the barrier.
Right. I mean, it's amazing how, like, you would think if it's a hidden island, like how
Like
did it
there
take
would be a force field.
centuries, you know, for
Yeah.
people to just find it? Like
Well,
all you had
yeah.
to do was just kind of like go through this
Yeah.
little area. I don't know. But I don't know. It was. I was okay with that. Like
I couldn't take the lasso seriously, kind of.
the lasso of truth.
Yeah. Or when she would like I was like, oh.
Yeah, the little glowing effect on it was kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked. The CGI was a little it was a little lacking in that respect. But anyway, as far as what did you think of Gal Gadot
I like her.
as an actress?
She seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just,
Did you buy her as a female superhero Wonder Woman?
yeah. I think, well, going back to stuff online, I think I had read an article, and do you remember, like, they had tried to have a Wonder Woman, like, TV show? And they had a pilot, but it was, like, they were saying it was really bad.
I don't know. I don't recall that at all.
I think it was, like, in maybe, like, 2011 or something.
You know, maybe I do recall, but I just
But no, I like
back then it
her.
probably wouldn't have gone well anyway.
She had a baby. Congrats to her.
I think that she was probably one of the best like casting. I think she was a really good cast.
She looks like an approachable Kim Kardashian.
Oh gosh.
Like,
Wow, that's a wow.
I know. I know.
High
Like her
praise
face.
right there.
Her face, it
Good Lord.
it looks kind of like hers, but like without everything else. And like she just looks kind of a little more normal. Like she's just tall and she's just living.
Like, I'm sorry if this offends people, but I'm glad that she's not white. Well, you know, I mean, you know, well, she's Israeli, but
I didn't get their accents on this island. I was like, they just have some kind of accent.
But like, you know, you can't really ask for a better casting because like one, she you know, I mean she's an actual real life like badass girl because, you know, she trained in the Israeli army and you know, she's actually athletic, and she looks the part, and she
Yeah.
has this what do you call it? Like she looks like she could be from an older ancient time, or like a time of back then when they still used swords and shields and armor and stuff like that. So I think she's one of the better casting. There are times when her character came off as very naive, and I mean, I guess that can make sense.
But it wasn't like dumb naive because she's smart.
Yeah, she is.
I
but-
think I mean, maybe it wasn't naive. I mean, a little bit, but she's just like she's like hella blunt or like hella straight up, hella honest. She's not.
Yeah.
Nothing. Things don't phase her.
Yeah.
I think what's funny is like when those secondary characters, they're like, oh, let's just throw in some diversity here and like shove the diversity down your throat. It's like,
Well, I mean,
it's like how, I don't get like why is there this like Native American guy like thrown in there like just okay like of all the things. I mean,
that's true.
like it's good, like representation is good, but like that was a weird way to go about it. And then there's the guy with the fez, and he always has to wear a fez the whole time. And then the guy was he like Irish, Scottish? See, I'm so ignorant. Like, and he has like a little hat on. It's like I mean, you can only do so much because it's World War II, and like of course there aren't going to be any Asians or whatever. But I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
That was kind of. It's just. I feel like a lot of World War One. I feel like a lot of this was just very formulaic. Like it kind of reminds me of like Suicide Squad and like how they had that little bit of. They had the Asian person and the Native American person and like the guy with an accent and like some other guy with it. Like they just want to throw that in there. And then.
Well, no, I mean, well, we're missing a gay person.
Yeah.
And
But
and a black person.
I just
Well, there were black people
like
in the Mascara.
like I was watching like the beginning part. I was getting like Moana vibes, and then they like leave on the boat, and I was like expecting her to start singing when she got to the edge of the island, and like it also kind of got a little bit Harry Pottery,
Why?
but well, because the guy's from Harry Potter, but like just like the whole thing of like love conquers all, like that's great and it's cute, but I was like. I guess.
You know, see, that's where I disagree because I was the whole time I was watching if we're talking about the plot and the story and the theme right now, like the whole time I was watching, I'm like, I'm actually thankful that the director and the writers aren't going for like some pretentious preachy message here. Where it's like, you know, it's okay to keep a theme simple where it's like humanity, there's evil in humanity and we don't deserve peace. We don't deserve to be like protected, and we don't deserve to have like what we want. But there's still like good in humanity, and there's still, you know, you have to believe in what's right. And you know, like nowadays there's so many stories where it's all about like racial oppression, and you know, that stuff is important too, or I guess more progressive, like saving our environment, saving our ecosystem. You know, like these are all trending topics that can get really political sometimes. Whereas, and to me that gets really pretentious, and it's like they just want to stir up some political conversation and
Yeah.
throw it in the middle of like a movie that's gonna, you know, that's gonna be trending. Whereas I think everyone hears about all that stuff all the time, so I'm just thankful that the film didn't need to be that. It's just a very universal theme. It's a very universal plot that, well, not the plot, but you know what I'm saying. What did you think about like the romantic angle?
I don't think they needed that. It's like, why does the person always have to fall, like, that always has to happen.
Well, maybe it's something to do with Wonder Woman lore. Like maybe the Steve Trevor, whatever his name was, like maybe he was an actual character in Wonder Woman's origins. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
But
Yeah, I'm not a very good fan. I don't like.
But see that. But the thing is, like, Wonder Woman is so. It's only until now we could actually have a decent Wonder Woman film. So,
Yeah.
like, even though I'm still curious to see what the old Wonder Woman film was
Yeah.
about, but construction. Wow, they dug up the entire.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Oh my gosh, sorry. But you know, like Chris Pine.
I feel like they didn't have to do that, but I mean, it worked in for the end, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it gave her some sort of. If there's anything good of that, like, romantic angle, like, it gave her some sort of human connection. That way she didn't just seem like she's just you know, from out of this world, you know. She might as well just be an alien. I don't know. It's, shoot, I was gonna say something, I forgot it.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, what did you think about, I don't know, the other casting jobs? The villain, the British guy, the British guy,
I like them.
the German general.
Oh.
I didn't really, I think they should have casted somebody a little younger. Like, there's this fight scene between the German general and Wonder Woman, and I'm like, even though he's like on some kind of drug.
Yeah, I was
he's
like,
an old
yeah,
man.
because
like,
taking drugs automatically makes you have like really, really high level of skill in hand-to-hand combat.
Exactly, yeah. Like, he's just an old man. Like, even if he has super strength from the drug, it doesn't necessarily mean he could beat someone who's trained in combat. So it would have been better if they casted somebody at least that looked younger and looked like he could, you know, kick ass a little bit. Like, I don't know. I can't think of any actor off the top of my head, but Michael Fassbender, for example, the guy who played Magneto, he played a German officer once, and I think he would have probably, like, we could have got an actual good hand-to-hand combat fight scene out of that, but, you know, it was a missed opportunity.
Okay.
Anything else? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
My only question was, okay, this happened in the early 1900s, so why didn't they say what she's been doing all this time since then? Apparently she's immortal, or she lives forever.
I know, right?
So now she works at the Louvre.
Cause like what? What's it called? Cause she was the only kid she grew up. She was the only kid on the island, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, does everyone just kind of grows up? That's what I don't get with like immortality and like the rates of immortality in movies. Because they get people that look older, and then they get people that look younger. But then I'm like, don't you just get to a point, like, like when you're immortal and like this is it.
Yeah.
But then for some people, you happen to be older, or some people happen to be younger. Like, is she gonna get older? It's like, but she's not, because that's it. That's anyway.
Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe she only ages when she's on the island.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's weird.
But yeah, like I wish they would have said at least something like why all of a sudden she shows up in Batman versus Superman and nobody knows who she is and no one's ever heard of her, and the only evidence of her existence is from the early 1900s. So what has she been doing all this time? Did she go back to the island? Did she just live?
She stayed in Europe.
So she pulled like a Twilight thing, which she just moved to different cities.
Maybe. Yeah.
So no one could tell that they're immortal. So did she go to high school like
No.
every 4 years? A new high school.
No.
Anyway.
I
Okay.
don't want to watch Twilight.
Are you hyped for the Justice League film though? Did this hype you up for it? It's coming out later this year.
I'll be hyped later. That's a lot. This is a lot. They also have the trailer for Thor. Thor Ragnarok.
I missed it. I was in the
They
bathroom.
made like the graphics. They made it look kind of Tron-y, like 80s, kind of Guardians-y. Like I was like, all right, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't watch Thor. I'm like, whatever. I don't really.
Yeah, Thor is probably one of the least popular of the films.
But it has Hemsworth, and he's beautiful.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, like, in the Avengers films, they try to hide the fact that he's like twice the size of Robert Downey Jr. and Jeremy Renner. Like they're like 5'3" or something like that, and he's like 6'3". You know. Anyway.
I forgot what other trailers they had. Yeah, they had a trailer for the Justice Pals.
Yeah. Anyway, so how many?
How many metal headbands?
Metal headbands. What?
That little metal headband.
Tiaras.
Yeah.
Whatever they were. Yeah. How many? How many slow motion
Oh, I know.
fight movements out of 10?
Oh god.
Like every fight scene, literally, like was like her swinging, and then she stops in slow motion, and then it kicks up again.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. So accurate. Dang,
Yeah.
this is a long video. We talk too much.
Oh my god. Well, you know what?
We didn't have to talk the whole time that like they took to get home.
You know what? Just rate the film, would you?
Read the film.
Rate the film.
Oh, rates the film. I'm gonna give it an 8.23.
Really? For someone who said you were underwhelmed, like.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no rhyme or reason to my numbers.
I know.
Nothing matters.
I know. All right. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Great.
I think you should. You know, it's not perfect, but it did a good job in what it was trying to do.
Fingers hurt.
Okay.
Fingers hurt from holding this shaky phone.
Okay.
Fingers hurt from holding.
All right, guys.
phones.
Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at HealthConformist. You can follow me on Twitter at ALexcellentAm. But flip the two.
And that's it.
Okay. Fine. Bye.
This video is 24 minutes long.
We can't get over it.
No. If you're still watching, if people still watch this all the way to the end, then God bless them. Oh well. Goodbye.